Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another stream. Feels like we've almost had the summer break with how long we have been off, but we've been off. It makes it sound like school, doesn't it? Hello, welcome. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you very much. If you are here already, you are the absolute legends of the channel. Kick back and relax. And we have also the timers wrong. Just seen that in the top left. Now, I don't actually control that. That's supposed to be pulled from an API. So that's interesting. I guess we get rid of that until it's fixed. Let me message the guy that helped me do this whilst I can hide that for now, I think. Can I? Yeah, I'll message him and say, where is he? What's his name? Hello, mate. Hello, mate. Time is wrong on the stream. Is it possible to fix it? We'll put it back in. Yeah, it probably is from when the clocks went forward. You are almost definitely spot on. That would make sense, wouldn't it? We are back. I think it looks so ugly in the top left without that. Afternoon, Ross. Lisbon looked great. So jealous. It was lovely. I really enjoyed Lisbon. I really did. The group of people that I was with were fantastic. The weather was amazing. The food was sensational. What a legend. He's already just said checking. Also, do you like my screensaver my niece created for me? Why is it so bright? Look how cute that is. My niece made me that. Officially bought BOWEN. Oh yeah, I bought BOWEN. Well, we should talk about FPL. I did buy Jared BOWEN for Croupy. I quite like this because I can still keep Ekatike for Gameweek 34. So yeah, I'm happy enough with that. It means I get BOWEN. It wasn't really a big loss. I didn't want to start Ekatike this week, but I didn't again. Gameweek 34 feels like a decent week to have him. Clocks went forward. Yes, there you go. The guy's going to hopefully sort it for us. I've wildcarded, ladies and gents. Yeah, good luck for those that are wildcarding. How's your foot? I can walk on my foot, officially. Lisbon was tough, though. I was doing 20,000 steps a day with ligaments in my ankle being busted. Loving the GeoGuessr vids on the second channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. And yeah, thank you for everyone for being here. We've got plenty to talk about. And, of course, get your questions in the chat. Did he rise last night? BOWEN, that is. I don't know. I bought him like an hour ago, so I don't think so. I don't think there were any price changes last night, to be honest. Pastel Donata. If you've not been to Portugal, when you go to Portugal, get some Pastel Donata. Sensational, truly. Pescador Black Sheep. Thank you for becoming a Rap Tier 2 member. I appreciate you very much. Welcome. I noticed the surgical boot didn't make it to Portugal. I wasn't actually given a surgical boot. I was just given crutches. And I couldn't be bothered to take crutches to Portugal. I don't think, if you've not been to Lisbon, it's like this. Pastel de Belém are the ones. I'm going to really upset you and say that I didn't like them at all. I thought they were a lot worse. The best Pastel de Nata is, let me find the place. It is from this place. This is if you ever go to Portugal. This place. Go to that place. Make a note of it. Keep it in mind. And definitely get your Pastel de Nata from there. We were lucky enough that our Airbnb was like opposite. I mean, look at those. They were... the green screen's ruined it, but you get the picture. Look at that. Should be fixed. I've been told it should be fixed. Let me see. If I now go back up here. No, it's not fixed. How do I get it to restart itself? Belém has the best Pastel de Nata. I disagree. I didn't like the ones in Belém. Sorry. I'm going to just say it. I didn't think they were very nice. Maybe I just had a bad batch. Maybe it's been a bad batch. Oh, it is sorted. Oh, it's sorted now. Perfect. Sorry, right, we're getting into it. It's been a hectic start. You guys know what I'm like when I get distracted, but our deadline timer is now correct. And perfect timing to be locked in because we have a super chat from the main man, Mad Dan87. Hopefully you are not too mad, Dan. Ross, my team is Pickford, Dubravka. Good. I'd be happy with that. Chow, Gabriel, Munoz, Senesi, Joachim Anderson. Not the perfect defence. Actually, I don't mind that defence. Anderson, Bruno, Palmer, Gakpo, Gordon, Sarr, Evan Nilsson, Thiago, Rao. I only have 3 hit and bench boosts left. I have 2 free transfers, 3.7 in the bank. What should I do? So in terms of doublers, you've got Dubravka, Senesi, Palmer. You've got a free hit in 33. So I would probably make, considering you don't have a wild card, 0 transfers this week. Just do your best to field a decent team. Free hit in 33. And then I would probably be looking at a bench boost in 35 or 36 or 37. So free hit 33, bench boost between 35 and 37, and I wouldn't bother with a transfer this week. Hub is selling me to sell Palmer and Rao to Haaland and Gross. That's because it hasn't penciled in your chip strategy. I honestly wouldn't make a transfer with that team, Dan. I would leave it. But yeah, I definitely think with your team, you've almost got to free hit in 33. If you do want to make a transfer, as someone said, like you could sell Gakpo, I suppose, but I think he'll start. You could, I don't know, maybe sell Evan Nilsson for Welbeck or something this week, but I don't think that really suits your strategy. You could go Evan Nilsson to Bowen. I don't mind Evan Nilsson to Bowen as a transfer. That would tempt me. It's about the only thing that I could see there, Mad Dan. So if you want to make a transfer, Evan Nilsson to Bowen. Otherwise, just leave it. Portuguese wine. I did have some white wine in Portugal. Not too much, though. I had a few glasses, maybe 1 bottle. Who knows? Is it worth selling João Pedro to Bowen? I think if you're on a free hit 33 strategy, I quite like João Pedro to Bowen. Obviously, if you're not free hitting in 33, don't sell João Pedro because he's got a double next week. I will just add, if you ask me any questions today, please do add your chip strategy in because I cannot answer your question adequately without knowing your chip strategy. Was considering Rao to Bowen. Yeah, Rao to Bowen, Evan Nilsson to Bowen. It's all the same kind of thing, isn't it? Neither of those are particularly great for this week, so. Is Timber a sell with 4 free transfers? Depends on your strategy, the rest of your team. But yeah, I don't mind selling Timber. I just don't see that he starts every remaining Premier League game. Hello, Ross and the Raptor crew. How are we doing? I'm doing well, thank you, Cosmic. Posh says I'm selling Pedro to Bowen. Yeah, again, on free hit 33, it makes sense. You've got Thiago ahead of Bowen on captaincy, yet you are predicting Brentford score 1 and West Ham score 2. I mean, my predictions are usually pretty rubbish, but also I'd fancy Thiago to score if Brentford score. I mean, you would imagine Bowen's involved in some regard. It's just Bowen's goal threat recently has been so bad. Like, let's have a look at his XG. 0.13, 0, 0.13, 0, 0.14, 0.04, 0.03. I know I've just bought him for 2 home games, and I think he still is on penalties. I still think he's a good asset, but I don't know that I'd ever want him being my captain, personally. So I feel like if Fernandes were to miss out, who would I have more faith in as a player? I think it would be Thiago. Any cheeky 1-week punts? Maybe a Brighton midfielder or a Welbeck, like Welbeck, Hinchelwood, Matoma, something like that. I'm just here for you, Ross. I don't care about FPL. Thank you. I appreciate that. There'll be plenty of non-FPL chat scattered in, as is always the case. What do you think about Brobby? Yeah, probably gone under the radar slightly, Brobby, to be honest. I mean, if you need a forward and you don't fancy Welbeck, Calvert-Lewin, Bowen, a lot of the other players that are being mentioned, I do like Brobby. Bowen missed a penalty against Leeds. He did, yeah. He might not take the next one as a result, but also players do miss penalties. Doesn't mean they get whipped off for them immediately. Did we hear from Slot regarding Ekitike? I don't think, I could be wrong because I didn't watch the whole presser, but I don't think he mentioned Ekitike specifically. I think instead he just said that there would be some changes to the team. So listen, Ekitike could start and I might regret benching him, but I just don't feel comfortable starting a player that my prediction is that his minutes will be less than 30. So I think I'm going to back my prediction. And I like all of my other players that I'm starting, especially now that I've bought BOWEN. Hello, Ross. Would you play Tavernier or Calvert-Lewin? I think, especially given that we don't even know that Tavernier's on pens now because Krupi took the last one. Obviously, if Krupi's on the pitch, that is. I'd go Calvert-Lewin. Easier fixture. And just more... Like, again, if Bournemouth score, could be anyone. If Leeds score, I do fancy it to be Calvert-Lewin. Who are the two best mids apart from Bruno and Soboslai? I'm going to free hit Gameweek 33. I have no wildcard. Free hit 33, no wildcard. Dewsbury Hall's a really nice option in that strategy. Yeah, I like Dewsbury Hall and probably Cunha. Dewsbury Hall and Cunha, depending upon your price that you need them. Is Krupi a sell on wildcard? Yeah, Krupi's just a dead asset now because his minutes are so unpredictable. And even when he's on the pitch, he hasn't really ever been a fantastic FPL asset. I think Mateus Fernandes took the pen against Leeds in the Cup. Did he? Okay, there you go. Could be a nice option. I completely checked out from the FA Cup games, mainly. So I wouldn't know. I still don't know that would tell us everything anyway. But yeah. Agnibar, good to see you, my friend. Says, hello, Ross. My team. Okay, I've got your team. 2 free transfers, 7.5 in the bank. Wildcard, bench boost, free hit left. Probably wildcard here. I don't know. It's pretty borderline. It is pretty borderline. Because if you did Ekatike to BOWEN, then I think that team looks pretty good. I don't think that you definitely wildcard there, honestly. But with the bench boost left, maybe. Yeah, do you know what? I would just about lean towards a wildcard, Agniba. Have I still got my wildcard draft? This is roughly what I would be doing on a wildcard. But I would just say Matoma and Kadioglu are the ones that you could switch. Like, instead of Matoma and Kadioglu, if you want to go for safety of minutes, just go Gross and Van Hecker. Like, Kadioglu and Matoma are both slightly more of a risk and a little bit more differential. But it was just to add a little bit of spice in there. Because otherwise, I would say the other 13 players you'll see in pretty much every wildcard team. But that's roughly what you should have on a wildcard, I think. What's the better duo, Van Hecker and João Pedro or Welbeck and Trufer? Oh, João Pedro and Van Hecker, I think. Chris, I've just seen your message. Hi, Ross. Wildcard 32, bench boost 33, free at 34. Stuck between Matoma and Strauch or Hinshelwood and Kukurea. 0.1 short for Gross instead of Hinshelwood. Yeah, that's a shame. I think probably Matoma and Strauch or Gross and Strauch. I would say just about. I do like Hinshelwood, but I think his minutes are less secure than like a Pascal Gross. And I also think his ceilings may be lower than like a Matoma. Zodiac says, hello, Ross. Glad to have you back. I'm glad to be back. I wildcard in 33 and free at 34. Okay. Would you sell Wilson for a 1-week punt? I've got 2 free transfer. Hope you had a wonderful day. Thank you very much. Would I sell Wilson for a 1-week punt? No, not really. There are no midfielders that I would be like 100% sure outscore Wilson this week. And you can obviously carry free transfers through the wildcard now, Zodiac. So having more free transfers in 35 would be massive. I wouldn't make that transfer, no. If I've got every chip left, would you say just wildcard now? If you have all 4 chips, I would probably wildcard this week, yeah. I think it makes the most sense. And not definitely, you don't have to, but I would, yeah. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, please smash that like button. Really supports me early on. And if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I'd appreciate it. I have an 80-point mini-league lead. Should I just block now? 80 points. Yeah, maybe. Don't like block their entire team, but if there are highly owned assets that you think are good that you don't have, like if you're not highly owned, but if you're second place in your mini-league, own someone that you think is a really nice player that you don't have, I would buy them. I wouldn't buy players that you don't think are good. That doesn't make much sense to me, just to block them. But let's say, I don't know, let's say your mini-league rival has BOWEN and you don't, I think BOWEN's pretty good. But if your mini league rival has Evan Nilsson, then you don't need to bother buying that player, if that makes sense. Hey Ross, how is Pickle's recovery going after the wisdom tooth removal? Yeah, it's going well. She's a little bit swollen still, but she's all good. 175k subs. We hit that a while ago, to be fair. Just not gone anywhere since then. But thank you very much for the hype. Why Ekatike on the bench? I just think personally Ekatike has a good chance of being benched himself. I don't feel confident in his minutes. What is Wildcard? Wildcard allows you to permanently change your team for free, basically. Dango/Ekatike to BOWEN for free. Dango/Ekatike to BOWEN for free. I'm wondering how Dango could go to BOWEN. Not sure. No wildcard and free hit 33. I would be happy to do Ekatike to BOWEN for free, yeah. I don't know where Dango comes into the equation, Anthony, but I like that transfer. So you don't think he starts? Ekatike, I would predict no right now. What chips do I have left to play? I have the wildcard and the free hit. So I'm looking at right now, free hit 33, wildcard 35. What's your club team looking like? The new rewards seem interesting in the update. Yeah, absolutely. We'll probably do club team after the deadline, but I would like to go through it because I think, yeah, that's a huge update. I like it. It's something they've been planning for a while, so I'm glad it's finally there. When a team isn't broke, don't fix it, right? Depends. You don't have to wait for a team to break before you do something. You can be proactive with transfers, but I do stand by that logic roughly that you don't need to force things in FPL. No chance of a wild card this week. Not for me, no. Not for me, no. I just don't need it, I don't think. Like I say, I think the only reason you wildcard this week is to bench boost 33. Right? What is the reason to wildcard into a weaker team this week unless it's to bench boost? And I don't have the bench boost. I already played it earlier this season. So I just don't think there's a reason to wildcard for me. Like, if I wildcarded, I'd have 5 players from the City-Chelsea game, which doesn't feel great. Although, I mean, like, they could all score. Like, I've predicted 3-1 to City. Like, if Semenyo, Palmer, Haaland all score, then it's fine. O'Reilly gets an assist, you know. Can't remember what it was called, but you play that AI fantasy game? Probably not, because I've never heard of it. Oh. You're not talking about one Future Football, are you? Maybe. That might be what you're on about, but I've not played that in a long time, because they're turning it into an app. When are you announcing your own app? Maybe in the summer. Maybe in the summer. Yeah, you had a team. You're talking about One Future Football. Yeah, they wanted to turn it into a mobile app. So, I don't even think it's... let me see if the website's still up. It is still there. They're saying it will launch on June the 1st. So, we'll see. That'd be exciting if it comes back. Would you sell Dango to Rice or Cunha? Would you sell Dango to Rice or Cunha? Probably not on 33 wildcard 35. I mean, I would rather Rice and Cunha to Dango, but I don't know that I would sell Dango. I don't know that that's worth a transfer. Any Arsenal press conference news? Not that I remember seeing. Let me have a quick look, though. By the way, if you have wildcarded, please make sure your wildcard's actually active. There's always a few people where they think they've clicked the wildcard button, but they haven't. Arsenal news. I don't really know. I don't think we've seen anything from the presser. Just trying to look at some accounts that I know do often post from Arsenal's pressers. Okay, so I think he was asked about Saka, Erdegaard, Timber, and Calafiori, and he said, like, some of them are back in training. So very useless. Yeah, basically nothing even worth discussing. It's classic Arteta. Classic Arteta. You know what he's like. You know what he's like. Captaincy or chip poll? Probably a chip poll makes the most sense, doesn't it? It's just what poll do I do? Because captaincy, I just think a lot of people are on Bruno. Not Bruno, it's probably Haaland. I think that's less important. When are you playing the wildcard? Let's do a wildcard poll first. I think that's useful. Wildcard 32, wildcard 33, wildcard 35, and then already played. When are you playing the wildcard? Wildcard 32, wildcard 33, wildcard 35. Obviously, it's going to be biased by the fact that you're watching my stream and I'm not on wildcard. But yeah. Why is Ekatike on your bench? I don't think he'll start, is my prediction, but I don't know. You never know. What is your chip strategy? I still have all of mine left to play. I think if you've got all of them left to play, I still think wildcard 32, bench boost 33, free hit 34, wildcard 35. That makes the most sense. I don't have bench boost or triple captain, so I think I'm going to be on free hit 33, wildcard 35. I meant Krupi / Ekatike to Bowen. Oh, okay. I would sell Krupi before I sold Ekatike. That's what I've done. Krupi to Ekatike, Anthony, I think is nice. Samira says, hello, Ross. Hello, Samira. All chips available, but I'm selling Thiago at 6.2 purchase price is tough. 6.2? I honestly... He started at 6. He did, didn't he? I almost didn't believe you then. I was thinking he started at 6.5. Wow. So you bought him at 6.2. Fair play. What is your opinion on him for the rest of the season? You're on wildcard 32, bench boost 33. I don't mind bench boosting with Thiago in 33, but then the fixtures just aren't great for the rest of the season, are they? That's not an excellent set of fixtures. I think I would just suck up the fact that you're going to lose some value on him, because you probably won't buy him back. Right? If you lose him here, you're not going to buy him back after that. So it doesn't really matter that you're losing value on him. I would probably just get rid. Do you wish you saved your bench boost or glad you did it? I'm very glad I did it. I just wish it went better. I only got 11 or 12 points in the bench boost. So I don't regret going early at all, because I think bench boost is forcing people this week to wildcard into a weaker team. And it might pay off for them, but I'm glad I don't have that decision to make. I just wish my bench had got more points, really, basically. Sorry, Ross. I've not watched the video. I've just seen the message. By the way, I'm not talking to myself. I have a friend called Ross. Just sounded like I was just chatting to myself. What to do if you've already used your wild card? So I still think you need to free hit in 33 or 34. Basically, well, if you've got the free hit, I don't think it changes that much. I would imagine if you've already used your wild card, but you have the free hit, you probably free hit in 33, and then you just hope that you get 11 players out in 34 would be my estimate. It also probably means that come game week 35, you're in a bit of a weaker position, I would imagine. I want to attack. Should I sell Wilson to Cunha? I mean, if you really want to attack, then yes. I would prefer to have Cunha to Wilson this week, 100%. But I don't think Wilson's a bad asset, and he's also very highly owned. So, protecting? No. Attacking? Yeah. Start 2 of Chow, Romero, Consa. Probably Chow and Romero. Salah captain. Good luck with that one. That man has caused me pain this season already. Is Justin from Leeds an option? Yeah? Yeah, I rate it. Don't know if you saw, but I've got to leave at 5:30. Okay, Sim, thank you for letting me know, my friend. Do your transfers carry through a wildcard? Yeah, good question. So transfers carry through a wildcard, but you don't gain an extra transfer in the week that you wildcard. So let's say You've got 3 free transfers after this week going into game week 33, and you wildcard or free hit. In game week 34, you would still have 3 free transfers. So you just don't gain an extra one in the week that you play the chip, but you do carry them through. The most simple way to think about it is however many transfers you have at the time of hitting the button, that's how many you'll have the week after. No, I am not wildcarding for those that are still asking. My chip strategy will be free hit 33, wildcard 35 almost definitely. So free hit, plenty of free hit content coming next week. Make sure to prepare for the free hit content. That won't be, of course, the only content. I'll still cover those of you that are bench boosting and stuff like that. I've gone with Welbeck and Calvert-Lewin in my team. Is it madness? No, I just don't know who you're dropping then. That means you're dropping João Pedro or Haaland, which I don't love. Like, in isolation, Welbeck and Calvert-Lewin are really nice. Are just not better than João Pedro and Haaland. Like, for me, Haaland, João Pedro, Calvert-Lewin and Welbeck's interchangeable. I think you just got to pick one of them for most people. Hasn't Saka been super stinky this season? He's not been at his best, no. Which is a shame. I love owning Saka in FPL when he's on it. It seems like this week it's either wildcard or rolling. I've done neither of those things. I'm not wildcarding, but I did make a transfer. Don't forget wildcard 33 with no bench boost strategy. That's a viable strategy for sure. Yeah. I just prefer free hit 33, wildcard 35. But I do think it is very close. I'll have a proper think about it, of course. I didn't know transfers now carry through a wildcard. I used 5 to dead end my team into 31. That's a shame. But yes, don't do that now moving forward. You can carry them through. Could you do another GeoGuessr only stream? Yeah, probably on my GeoRaptor channel. I could do one at some point for sure. I would like to do more of them. They're really enjoyable. So yeah, I will definitely think about that soon. I'm on wildcard 35, free hit 33. I've got 1 transfer, Hugo to BOWEN. I think Ekatike to BOWEN's a nice transfer, yeah. I mean, it's going to age terribly if Ekatike starts. But even if Ekatike starts, it's not like BOWEN's a terrible asset. Like, if I offered you 65 minutes of Ekatike or 90 minutes of BOWEN this week, you'd still probably take BOWEN. It only becomes an issue if Ekatike starts and goes massive, right? Which could well happen. Jack says, hello, Ross. My best defense for 32... Oh, what is the best defense for 32 and 34 only? Wildcard 35. Game week 34 looks bad with Gabriel, Hill, and Anderson. Richards and Estev. That doesn't sound terrible. Gabriel and Anderson are great, so you just need one more defender. Unsure on Van Dijk and Man United. 400k overall rank or roll. 3 free transfers. I think probably Tarkowski, if you've got the money, would be my favourite option across those 2 weeks. I also still like Sunderland defence. I don't think is terrible. West Ham defence. Yeah, Man United defence could do the job too, but I just don't trust our defence. It probably is Van Dijk or Tarkowski if you can afford them. I also think you could absolutely just roll Jack. Khan says, should I wildcard? I have bench boost and free hit. Also, should I wildcard? I have bench boost and free hit. It's a bit of a borderline team, isn't it? 1.9 million for free transfers. I would say... God, that is tough, though. I think you need it. I would say just because you have 4 free transfers, I would lean towards yes, Khan. The reason for that is the more transfers you have, the less difficult it's going to be to navigate 35 onwards, which means you don't really have as much need for the wildcard in 35. Because you're essentially going to have, if you don't make a transfer, if you wildcard, you're going to have 4 free transfers in 35. I would probably just about lean towards yes, Khan, to the wildcard. And again, for those of you that have just joined, firstly, please make sure you like the stream, make sure to subscribe. Secondly, this is roughly what I'd be going for on a wildcard. The 2 most interchangeable positions are Kadioglu and Matoma. I don't mind Van Hecker and Gross or Hinshelwood or something like that instead. Start Chow or Munoz? I would back Munoz, but I suppose slight more of a rotation risk. Slight more of a rotation risk. When is the free hit 33 video? I will have my first draft out on Monday, I think, this week. Yeah, probably Monday. Yeah, because I'm busy over the weekend. I won't get back till late Sunday, so I think it'll be too late to upload the video. So yeah, leaning that way at the moment anyway. I suppose it could be Tuesday, but likely Monday. Ross, are you playing the wildcard? In 35. With how many transfers does it make sense to keep Gabriel 1 week, then sell him to buy him back later? I think I'd want to have 4+ transfers to justify that. I think you either just don't have Gabriel, or you just keep him through the bench boost. I don't love having, selling, buying. I don't mind going no Gabriel, and I equally don't mind just having Gabriel against Man City on the bench boost. Do you like Hill or Strauch better for Wildcard 32? I suppose it depends if you already own a Leeds or Bournemouth defender. If you don't, just straight up who's better? Probably Hill, then Strauch. But if you've already got like Senesi, then I would go Strauch. If you've already got Darlow, then I definitely would go Hill. So that would have an impact on my decisions. Hi Ross, what do you think about triple captain 33 and bench boost 36? Yeah, funnily enough, big man FPL Storms. Stormsy asked me that exact question. He said, why is no one talking about triple captain 36? Sorry, triple captain 33 and bench boost 36. The answer that I gave him was basically, firstly, I think the double for Haaland is better in 36 if it goes the way that we think. Secondly, because Game Week 36 is going to be a smaller double game week, you're just not going to have as many players doubling, so you're not going to have any doublers on your bench. So I think triple captain 33, bench boost 36 just doesn't make quite as much sense because your bench will be slightly weaker, and I would argue your triple captain's slightly weaker. In favour of that, though, who knows whether by game week 36 the league will be wrapped up. It might be that Haaland's not even a viable captaincy option in 36. So, yeah. 2 free transfers and all chips remaining, what would you do? Wildcard this week, bench boost 33, free hit 34, triple captain 36. That's the most sensible use of your transfers, I'd say. MN Chuckster, good to see you, my friend. Says, hello, Ross. Hope you had fun in Lisbon. Yes, I've got really bad sort of post-holiday blues. I just feel sad that I'm not there. I was there a month ago as well to support my friend running a half marathon, and I had a blast. I would love to do a half marathon in another city. Not at the moment because I can't use my ankle very well. But yeah, loved it. 2 questions today. Start Sanchez/Dubravka. Probably Dubravka. And then bench one of KDH, Wilson, or João Pedro. Have a great weekend. Thank you very much. I wouldn't bench KDH. I really like him. I would probably bench Wilson. Start KDH and João Pedro and Dubravka. So I would bench Sanchez and Wilson. And thank you very much. Hope you have a good weekend, my friend. The double is better only if the title race is still on. Exactly. That is the one thing. Have you run a half marathon before? What time are you getting? No, I've only run 5 and 10Ks before. Never run a half marathon. My 10K time wouldn't be particularly impressive. My 5K PB is above average, but not great. It was 22 minutes 32 or something like that. Basically 22 and a half minutes. My 10K time would be about average. I can't even remember what it is. And I've never run a half marathon or a marathon. I've never gone more than like 11, 12K. Mainly because my knees don't work, or my ankles, or my back, or my anything. I'm basically Reece James, but more injury prone and not as good at football. It's basically me. Timbo, good to see you. Wildcard 32, 1 free transfer. Do I go Cucurella third Chelsea, or do I sell him for Senesi to leave a spot to sell Bruno for Enzo and 33? Or do I start with Enzo and Bruno? I would just have 2 Chelsea and have Senesi rather than Cucurella, I think. Honestly, I don't think you need 3 Chelsea in a wildcard. Again, if I go back to my draft, I only have 2 Chelsea. just Palmer and JP. So I would do that. I guess go with Senesi now. And if you still want to do Enzo in for Bruno, then you can do still. I may as well not have a right ankle. Yeah, that's basically where I stand. It's okay to be old. I did turn 29 over the break. So I am basically an old man. I have 3 free transfers. Start Ekatike, move him to BOWEN, or save the transfer, bench Ekatike, and start Harry Wilson. I would say, in order of what I prefer, 2, then 3, then 1. I would sell him to BOWEN. If you don't want to make the move, I would just start Wilson. And then 1. So yeah, 2, 3, 1 in that order, Giandri. Did you get your birthday beats? I didn't. Would you do Semenyo to Bruno? If you're on free hit 33, yes. I'm waiting for someone to correct you and say you're actually 40. I'm not, sadly. I don't think I actually look that old, like my face. I think I'm bald, which doesn't help. And my body's made of glass. But my actual face, I don't think looks 40. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just in denial. You know? Maybe I am just an old man with wrinkles and saggy face. Ross, what's your reservation on Watkins? Fine, I guess. If he was cheaper, I'd be tempted. If he was like 6.5, 7 million. Thanks, Ross. First pronunciation was right. Giandre. It's a very cool name. Is it French? Giandre? What country are you from, if you don't mind me asking? Giandre Bottes. Yeah, it could be French. You look 25. I don't think that, but thank you. Oof, God, I did push and my yesterday, and my DOMs is hurting. Went for some heavy weights, let's just say that. Would you start Dewsbury Hall or Ismail Assar? Ooh, that's a tough one. I would start Dewsbury Hall. Missed you so much, man. Great to see you. I missed you as well. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it a lot. Geo Namer. That'd be a fun game. You get a name and you have to work out where in the world they're from. Bench 1, Anderson, Wilson, or Dango. Assuming that is Elliot Anderson, that's actually a very tough one. I would maybe say Dango Ouattara. Genuinely Dango Ouattara. If that's Joachim Anderson, then it's a very easy Joachim Anderson. Will Timber start? I've got no idea, truthfully, and no one does, because no one knows what Arteta's thinking. I'm from Cape Town, South Africa. It's from my father's name, Johan Andre. Oh, very cool. That's very cool. Yeah, I think you have told me before you're from South Africa. Sorry for not remembering. That's a very... Oh, I love that. He's like... His name is sort of combined to make yours. I've never really seen that before. Is that a South African thing? It's very cool. Free hit 33, better duo. Beto Haaland or Ekatike BOWEN. Free hit 33. This week, Beto Haaland. 34, obviously Ekatike BOWEN because Haaland doesn't play. I don't really know what the question is, Jeremy. I'll be honest. Start Rodgers or Wilson. Rodgers versus Wilson is such a coin flip. Pickle's got the same decision to make. I would probably start Rodgers, but I think it's honestly almost 50-50. I know it was a long time ago, but I think Dango was a sub in the last game. I think it was just a one-off rest. But yeah, maybe it's something that we might see a little bit more commonly. I agree, but no Cucurella means I start Senesi or Straug. Yeah, but Cucurella means you start Cucurella against Man City, Timbo, so I don't think that's much better. I'd start Straug. There is still like a 5 to 10% chance that Straug's on pens, by the way. Or could take a pen depending on who's on the pitch. Elliot Anderson or Wilson? Probably Elliot Anderson. Paul Mulvey, wildcard 32, bench boost 33, free hit 34. Have 13 doublers and Gabriel and Bruno. Perfect. Have 3 free transfers. Do Gabriel and Bruno to Palmer and Hill next week, or do it now on wildcard and save the free transfers? I would be inclined to say I'd want Bruno and Palmer. Like, again, I'll show my wildcard draft because it will help contextualize it. I've got Hill, Gabriel, Palmer, and Bruno. So, I don't know, like, I would want Bruno this week. So if that helps to answer your question, I would want Bruno. So I would start with Bruno. I don't think you have to start with Gabriel. I think you could definitely go without Gabriel. Why bench Ekatike? Is he a doubt? He just doesn't tend to play 3 games in 7 days, Ekatike. He might do. This might be the occasion where he does. I just don't feel confident in these minutes. I could start him instead of Wilson. Like, what do you think, chat? Would you start Ekatike instead of Wilson? I'm less sure. Astro Traveling says, please help. I had no time to think about my team. 2 free transfers, all chips except the wildcard. Gallagher, Dubravka, Tarkovsky. So how many doublers do you have in 33? Dubravka. 1, 2. Haaland. Okay, that's a very easy decision. Free hit 33. Roll the transfer this week. You could make a transfer. You could do... Okay, Raul Jimenez to Bowen. Free hit 33. Bench boost 35. I would say probably on that team, maybe 36, 37. And then triple captain. Okay, here's what I would do. Raul Jimenez to Bowen. Free hit 33. Bench boost 35. Triple captain 36. There you go, Astro Traveling. That PAA guy says, hi, Ross. Okay, I've got your team. I'm chasing with 2 free transfers, bench boost and free hit left. Any suggestions? Okay, how many doubling players do you have? We just have to count them. That's what we have to do. Dubravka, Senesi, João Pedro, Erling Haaland. You've only got 4 doublers, so you've got a free hit next week. Okay, so free hit 33, bench boost, a week where your bench looks good. Do you need to make a transfer? I mean, yeah, given that you're free hitting next week, you could sell João Pedro now. You could sell João Pedro to Bowen. João Pedro to Bowen, free hit 33, bench boost 35 to 37, something like that, PAA guy. Hopefully that helps. I think unless you've already got 7 to 8 doubling players in 33 and a really good team, you are going to have to play a chip in 33. You can't really go into the biggest double of the season without loads of doubling players. Like you want really, ideally, at least 9 or 10 doublers, preferably a whole team of doubling players. Strauch on penalties, I'm sold. Well, he did take some in the championship. I'm not saying he definitely will be, but there is a chance. He's definitely up there in probably the top 3 choices for them. On wildcard 32, and I don't have good team value, am I okay going with Biol as last sub or downgrade Gross to Hinshelwood and upgrade Biol to Strauch? I think Biol will be fine. He's a bit of a doubt this week, and I don't know long-term that his minutes will be perfect, but it sounds like he'll be fit for double game week 33. That would be the only major concern. If he's fit, I think he starts both in the double, and that's really what you need him for. The only thing I will say on Biol is, like, in 35, Leeds play Burnley at home. And so you probably do want to make sure that your Leeds defender's starting for that. So, yeah, basically, I think Gross and Biol's the slightly stronger combination, just about. Why no City players? What did I miss? Don't have any City players. You haven't missed anything. Just don't own any. I never had Semenyo and O'Reilly, and I sold Haaland a couple of weeks ago. Like a numpty. To be fair, this is the only game week this season now that I won't have Haaland. I'll have him next week on my free hit, and then I'll wildcard him back in probably for 35, you'd imagine. So was 0.6 million short on the wildcard team you made saying, I have low team value. Just go Gross or Hinshelwood instead of Matoma. I can't remember what the prices are of them, but or Gomez. Just basically go someone else instead of Matoma, and you'll be fine. Ross, my team is rubbish and I only have one transfer. Is it wildcard 32 for me? Yes, I would say so. The only reason you wouldn't wildcard this week is if your team looks good, which a lot of people will. Like my team, I'm not saying my team looks good per se, but it doesn't look bad. And I think my team would look worse if I wildcarded. Oh. Gomez is on 9 yellow cards. That is correct. It's up to you whether you think that's worth the risk. It's the classic. It's the classic, you know? Is next week a double? Yeah, game week 33 is a double for 6 teams. There you go. Those are the best fixtures next week. So my free hit is almost definitely only going to have doubling players. It will probably have triple Leeds, triple City, double Chelsea, triple Bournemouth, maybe 1 or 2 Brighton. I mean, we could have a go at a free hit draft, to be fair, at some point. I won't do that now, but if you want to see me do a free hit draft on this stream, we could definitely have a look. Hello, Ross. On Wildcard 32, Bench Boost 33 Strat, would you pick Matoma or Gross? I think Gross is safest for minutes. Matoma's got the higher upside. Is keeping Gabriel, Bruno, and Thiago on Bench Boost 33 a good idea, or should I get more doublers? I personally would rather have one of Welbeck or Calvert-Lewin instead of Thiago. Gabriel and Bruno are the 2 best assets in FPL for me. Like, hands down, value-wise, everything is together. So, I don't mind having Gabriel and Bruno, but I don't think I'd have Thiago. And I think Gross is probably the safer asset rather than Matoma. I just think Matoma is a bit more exciting. So it's up to you which way you want to lean with that, I guess. Rodon news. It sounds like Rodon's out until May, is the estimation, which, by the way, is only, I can't believe it's only about 20 days away, but it is only about 20 days until May. So a few weeks Rodon sounds like he'll be out for. It does sound like he'll feature again this season, though. So I think as a result, you would imagine that once fit and available, BO is nailed, as is Strauch. You'd expect those two to start pretty much every game. Hatik says, hello, Ross. Hello, Hatik. This will decide my chip strategy. All chips and 1 free transfer. Which bench boost seems better? Game week 33, Gabriel, Bruno, Van Hecker, Verbruggen. Looks pretty good to me. Or 237, KDH versus Spurs, Richards versus Brentford, Leno and Anderson versus Wolves. I mean, definitely the bench boost with the doublers is the best. Not only do you get 2 doublers, but your 2 single players are Bruno and Gabriel. Like, the bench boost 33 is better. 100%. That isn't the only thing, of course, that you should be thinking about. And thoughts about Gomez on Wildcard. My only concern with Gomez is that my number 1 comment I received this week was, what about Minte? And I don't see them all starting. Not going to see Matoma, Hinchelwood, Minte, Gomez all starting. So something's got to give there. And I do think that it's probably Gomez and Minte sharing minutes on the right. And Gomez is on 9 yellows. I don't really know, though. I don't want to massively put you off. What I would suggest doing is... It's FPL Instinctive, isn't it? FPL Instinctive. This guy. He did a thread. I can even copy-paste it in the chat for you. But he goes through and breaks it down in a lot of detail. And he does have Gomez as first choice, but then, again, it's Minte's best position. So have a read of it yourself if you're trying to decide on a Brighton midfielder, but I wouldn't feel comfortable in any of them, really. I mean, Gross is, again, your best shout in terms of minutes. Drew, the super chat. Thank you, Drew. Says, my team is, okay, Virgil, Gabriel, O'Reilly, Bruno, Rice, Palmer, Summit. That was rude. My Chrome just crashed. Just refresh that. Sorry, I was just in the middle of reading your team and everything just crashed. I think everything's still running smooth. I think it was just my Chrome. That's always very rude when it does that. Let me try again. My team: Virgil, Gabriel, O'Reilly, Bruno, Rice, Palmer, Semenyo, Wilson, Thiago, João Pedro, Ekatike. On the bench, want to free hit 34, wildcard 35. Does this make sense? So doublers for 33. You've got O'Reilly, Palmer, Semenyo, João Pedro. Why are you on free hit 34, not free hit 33, Drew? That looks more like a free hit 33 team to me. Because you've only got 4 players that blank in 34, right? Maybe it was a mistype? I don't know. Let me know, Drew. I think your team looks better for free hit 33, wildcard 35 than free hit 34, wildcard 35, though. See you later, Sim. Thank you for being here as always. Have a good evening. What strategy is Pickle on? Same as me. Free hit 33, wildcard 35. I think it just suits our teams, and also it's different. And I think both of us have not had the season we want. Free hit 33, I mean. Yes, Drew, then that does make sense, yeah. Why do you not think Ekatike starts? Because Ekatike just doesn't start 3 games in 7 days. Or 8 days, whatever it is. It's 7 or 8 days. 3 games in a week. The last time that happened, he was benched in the Prem. Isak's back. Gakpo didn't start in the Champions League. I just think one of Gakpo or Isak, probably Gakpo, start instead of Ekatike. I could be wrong. I'm really good. It's not just me that thinks that, though. Like, Praz sold Ekatike, you know? And Praz is a great manager for sort of predicting mins. Let's see what Emma says. Jump the wave. If you don't know who Emma is, she compiles predictions from fans. So they're predicted lineups based on multiple minds. So it's not just one person. This is the predicted lineup from FPL Instinctive, by the way. Seems pretty standard. Where is the Liverpool, full? Here we go. Oh. Ekatike at 39%. 39% for Ekatike. It's not great, is it? Even if that was at 50%, I wouldn't feel comfortable. It's below 50%. Also, these little squares all correspond to a person. And from left to right, they are predicted from the best predictors to the worst predictors. So the best 3 Liverpool predictors are all predicting Ekatike to be benched. The worst 2 are the ones that are predicting him to start. I don't know. I look at this and this tells me that I think my prediction on Ekatike is probably about right. They've got Salah at 100%, which is interesting. But yeah, I just don't feel comfortable enough on Ekatike's minutes. Don't ask why I have both, but bench Raya or Lamans. I would bench Lamans. I'd start Raya. Who did Praz sell Ekatike for? BOWEN. By the way, Cadiz, Spain is also a great place to vacation. Cadiz. Where is Cadiz? Let's have a look on the map. Oh, okay. Not too far from Gibraltar. Yeah, it looks lovely there. Okay. I'll bear that in mind. Thank you. I'll be I turn 30 next year and I want to do a lot of traveling, so I think I'm going to be having a fair few holidays next year. I feel like I've earned it. You know. Start Wilson or João Pedro? Very tough. I'd probably just about lean João Pedro, but that is an extremely difficult one. Do you like Hill or Strauch better for Wildcard 32? I think I said before, Will, depends who your other defenders are. Like, if you've already got Senesi, or you've already got Darlow, that might make it a bit easier. But I think in isolation, Hill is slightly better. How was Lisbon, Ross? Really good. Really enjoyable place to visit. Come to South Africa. I do want to visit Cape Town. I do. I do hear slightly mixed reviews on South Africa, but I know a lot of people really love South Africa, so. Sento says, don't feel like wildcarding, but I have one free transfer, only 10 probable starters, and no bench. Yeah. I mean, Sento, you've answered your own question. That is, or it might be Sent OXO. Sent. You've answered your own question. That is a wildcard for sure. There's no point putting off a wildcard. I just think if the wildcard massively weakens your team this week, then you should at least think about whether you want to play it, but... FPL Affairs says wildcard used, playing free hit 33 and bench boost 35/36. Want to sell Ryan this week to a mid for 32-34 and 35-36. 6.7 million budget, maybe Casemiro. Thoughts, alternatives? Who do Everton have in 35-36? Not the best fixture there. I'm trying to think who else. 6.7 budget. So you couldn't get Declan Rice. That's a shame. No one really... Sorry, 35-36. No one really has the fixtures that you want, do they? No, they've all got difficult fixtures in 35. But Casemiro's not got a great fixture. I don't mind Dewsbury Hall. Let me actually go. I can answer this question for you. Let's do this. Let's make sure we get you a good answer. Let's exclude certain weeks. I want to get rid of 30... No, I want to get rid of 33. 30... I can just do that, can't I? West Ham, yeah, but they've got Arsenal, not great. Spurs have a good set of fixtures. Sunderland, not bad. Forest, I don't hate. You could go for like Elliot Anderson. No one really has the perfect set of fixtures, do they? Yeah, there's no one that stands out really desperately to me. Sorry. Casemiro is no worse than anyone else there. You're not going to have a player that has a good fixture in every week. It doesn't seem to exist. Barjo19933 says, my team is... Okay, I've got your team. All chips available with 2 free transfers, 3 mil in the bank. What's the best strategy for my team? Wildcard this week. Bench boost next week. Free hit 34. Wildcard, triple captain 36. So yeah, wildcard 32. Free hit 33. Sorry, wildcard 32, bench boost 33, free hit 34, triple captain 36. I think is the best strategy for you. I think that is the best strategy if you have all 4 chips. Mr. Shazam with the super chat, you are ridiculously generous. I would say too generous, but I do very much appreciate it, so thank you. Thanks for the content this week. Been really useful. Yeah, it does take a while to get back into it, so apologies if there are any mistakes, but it is nice to be back. Couple of decisions this week. Donnarumma or Dubravka in goal. Ooh. Chat. Help Shazam out. Dubravka or Donnarumma? Probably Donnarumma. Yeah, probably just about Donnarumma. And pick 2 to play out of Chow, Anderson, Wilson, or Dango. I would go Wilson and Dango, assuming that you can bench both defenders. I would probably order them Wilson, Dango, Chow, Joachim Anderson in that order, Shazam. And thank you for the super chat. Yeah, Donnarumma. Neither keep a clean sheet. Yeah, I would predict neither keep a clean sheet as well, but maybe just about Donnarumma. Chicharito says, wildcard this week with 2 free transfers. If I want to chase, should I include Cunha and sell him to Svenja next week? Hopefully we win the league next year with Bruno. I mean, as a Man United fan, if you want to go get Cunha, I don't want to put you off of that. But with only 2 free transfers, if you're wildcarding this week, you're not going to have many transfers in 35. And I think they're very useful in 35. So I would say just about, no, I probably wouldn't do that. I would just start with Semenyo. Who, by the way, against Chelsea could do a lot of damage. South Africa is a 6 in crime. UK is 42. Is a low number good or bad? Crime in countries. Are you saying it's like the 6th worst or the crime in countries ranked? I assume a low number is not a good number. I think that's the only thing about South Africa that I've heard as a negative. Is that like people, a few people that I know haven't felt completely safe. But I guess it depends where you go. Probably bad, yeah. Yeah, I've heard. I think especially if you're not in Cape Town, but even in Cape Town, I know that it's not perfect. Taylor says, thoughts on BOWEN as a 1 week punt on Wildcard? I don't like 1 week punts. Would get DCL next week. I would just start with Calvert-Lewin. Like, I just think free transfers are a little bit too valuable right now. Unless you've already got like 5 free transfers and you're flying, I just wouldn't take 1 week punts. Also, who would you start this week? Strauch, Senesi, or Hill? I would go Strauch. Why did you pick BOWEN above DCL, if I may ask? Good question. I'm free hitting in 33, so I don't need a doubler next week. And because I'm free hitting in 33, I also need a player for 34. And Jared Bowen's got Everton at home. Obviously, Calvert-Lewin just won't have a fixture. So it was pretty easy for me. Why are people getting off João Pedro? I don't think that he doubles next week, so I'll have him on my free hit next week. So good to see a big smile on your face every stream. I do my best. Sometimes there's less to smile about, sometimes there's more, but I'm also very grateful for the position I'm in. Listen, there's over 1,000 people just sitting here listening to me talk about FPL. I'm very grateful. If I wasn't smiling, that would be ungrateful, right? There's so much to be thankful for, especially you guys. I love you all very much. I've missed you as well over the last few weeks. A lot of pressure this game week. Yeah, it does feel like a big week to make decisions, doesn't it? Dubravka or Sanchez? Dubravka. Richard, Senesi or Anderson? If you're only starting one, I think Richards. And good luck for the Raptors in the NBA playoffs. Thank you very much. I haven't watched any NBA this year, sadly. I've just been too busy. It's been too busy. And also, it's on unholy times in the UK. Is this the final team, Rossi boy? Should be, yes. Joseph says, hello, mate. Thankfully been told I now don't have a blood clot after my ultrasound today. That is fantastic news, Joseph. That is something to smile about. I'm very glad about that. Still not sure on Ekatike to BOWEN. Feel like he might start. Honestly, mate, if you feel that way, Ekatike is going to be a major differential now. I would just keep him. The infamous Klopp's Facebook picture, nothing to smile about in my life. There's always something. Some people definitely have it worse, especially worse than me. Like, I'm very grateful for my life, but there's always going to be something that you can be thankful for. I actually think that demonstrating, practicing gratitude is a huge factor for being happy. South Africa is not that bad unless you want to explore Johannesburg and Durban as well. I have heard that even Cape Town's not entirely safe, but yeah, I agree that Cape Town sounds less of a scary prospect than Johannesburg and Durban. Sup, Dennis. Good to see you, my friend. What we saying? What we saying, Dennis? Starting order. I would just switch Ekatike and Semenyo. I'd start Semenyo, bench Ekatike, personally myself. You got the bench boost and free hit left. Thoughts, and would you take anyone out with one free transfer? I don't think you need to make a transfer. And I think with your team, so you've got Verbruggen that doubles, Van Hecke that doubles, Semenyo. So you need to free hit 33, and then you would bench boost in 35, 36, or 37, depending which week your team looks best at that time. So I would say switch Semenyo and Ekatike. Don't make a transfer. Free hit next week, Dennis. And we can talk free hit in next week's stream. No wildcard. Free hit 34. João Pedro to BOWEN, Solanke or Gyökeres. I assume you mean you're free hitting in 33. If you are genuinely free hitting in 34, then selling João Pedro is a terrible transfer. If you're free hitting in 33, then yes, João Pedro to BOWEN is nice. And I'll assume that's what you mean. Lots of people get 33 and 34 mixed up. It's easily done. You will not be the only one if that's the case. Thanks FPL says, help. I have Rice/Garner, João Pedro, Bowen, Chow, Munoz. Have 2 free transfers, 2.2 million in the bank. Still got bench boost, wildcard, free hit. Shall I do transfers now and bench boost this week? 3 hit 34, wildcard 35. Help. I'm a bit confused because I can't see your whole team. You've only given me 6 players. So I can't, I really struggle to help without that knowledge. I don't think a bench boost this week makes too much sense. Bench boost next week could make sense, but I'd have to see the rest of your team. I think considering you've got bench boost, wildcard, and free hit, I don't mind wildcard, then bench boost. Sorry, wildcard, then bench boost, then free hit in that order. But I would need to see more, sadly. Sorry. Hi Ross, Verts or Wilson to start? I've already got Van Dijk playing. I would go Verts over Wilson, probably. Snowbomb says, I've got a benching headache. Please help. Okay, that's what I'm here for. I would bench Ekatike, Timber, because he's a doubt, and Chow. Ekatike, Timber, and Chow. And Dubravka. Dubravka, Timber, Chow, Ekatike on the bench. Isn't an easy decision at all, though. I do agree. That was quite a difficult one. Utkarsh says, with all chips, 1 free transfer, 4.4 in the bank. Team is good for this week in 34. So planning to do free hit 33, wildcard 35, triple captain 36, bench boost 37. That's actually an alternative strategy that I quite like, Utkarsh. Yeah, I think that's a really nice strat. I don't hate it. For this week, Palmer to Salah or Krupi to Bowen? I would go Krupi to Bowen. Yeah, Krupi to Bowen, just about. You can still do Palmer to Salah if you have the funds a little bit later in 34, but yeah. I would do Krupi to Bowen. I think that makes most sense. How to by Sarge has been a member for 7 months? 8 months. Thank you very much. Hi, Ross. Bit of a rubbish defence this week, so looking to bolster with another Arsenal as on free hit 33. Would you bring in Timber or Saliba? If it's just, I mean, Timber's just a bit of a doubt, isn't he, at the moment? So Saliba, by that logic, I think, would be a little bit safer. I think you could also potentially go, No, I think Saliba's a good shout. You could go Tarkovsky. Has a good fixture in 32 and 34. E-No-V says, I'm on wildcard 32, bench boost 33, free hit 34. 2 free transfers, 4.5 million. Backline of O'Reilly, Senesi, Hill, Van Hecke, Strauch. Switch one out to have 3 good in Game Week 32? No, I would just sacrifice Game Week 32. Not worth the extra transfer. I would start O'Reilly. I would start Van Hecke, of course. And then probably Strauch. I would probably bench the 2 Bournemouth boys, but definitely O'Reilly and Van Hecke are the 2 to start. And then it's just a 50-50 between Bournemouth and Strauch. But I think that if you... No, I mean, Arsenal aren't a great attack, are they? But I think I would start Strauch just. Yeah, I meant 33, thank you. How much worse is Solanke? Different? Solanke's fine if he starts every game. I just don't know that he will. And he's obviously come back from a very long-term injury. Solanke's not a terrible asset to buy. I'm just not fully there. I want to see a bit more from Spurs. Hello, Raptor. The team was the differences to yours. Oh, sorry. I should have maybe worked that out. So you have Rice instead of Garner, João Pedro instead of Bowen, and Chow instead of Munoz. Okay. You've got 2 free transfers, 2.2 million. Still got bench boost, wildcard, free hit. Okay, I still don't like bench boost this week. So what would I do? I would probably have a very similar strategy to me then, because your team's basically the same as mine, right? I don't think that's enough changes to change the strategy. So, free hit 33, wildcard 35, and then I think you bench boost in 36. Yeah. Free hit 33, wildcard 35, bench boost 36. Thanks, FPL. I would do that, personally. Do you think Justin plays since Rodon is out? I do think Justin plays, yeah. Would you go for Justin over Strauch to get Matoma instead of Gross? No, I would just go Strauch and Gross, probably, Rob. I mean, definitely Justin and Matoma are the more exciting pair, but both could be benched. Strauch and Gross feel pretty safe for minutes, so I would lean that way. Start 2 only. Ekatike, Dango, Rogers, Cash, Hall, Chow. Dango Rogers. I'd start you 2 attackers. If you have... I assume you've got to start a defender. You have to start a defender. You've listed 3 defenders there. So Dango... No, I'd go Rogers and Hall. Rogers and Hall. Are we doing GeoGuessr today? Maybe. I am very hungry already. Depends how hungry. Yeah. Thanks, Shazam. For some reason, I have to like manually start it sometimes. There we go. Thank you for letting me know. What's the general idea of not using the wildcard now? What are the benefits? My team already looks good in 32 and 34, and I don't have the bench boost to play. So like, there's no benefit to me wildcarding now, because it will make my team weaker. It will mean that I then have a free hit to play in 34 when my team already looks good in 34. It just doesn't make sense for my team. Do a cooking stream. Could do a cooking stream. If I could just transition my setup in there. That push workout yesterday, I clearly pushed too hard. No pun intended, but my dons is not looking good. Not looking good, brev. By the way, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, as I said, please do make sure to like and importantly, make sure to subscribe as well. If you're not subscribed yet, what are you doing? What are you doing? Get it done. Wondering if I should go Semenyo to Cunha this week. I probably wouldn't bother, but if you fancy the punt, go for it. Who do you think is going to win the Masters and who do you want to win? I thought Oberg would win. This year was my under the radar punt, and I don't know what he's at now. Let me have a look. Ludwig is he's 1 under on the day, but he's still he's not going to win it. I'll say McIlroy, but pushed by Scheffler to the end. Scheffler looked right on the pace, didn't he? Scheffler was like 3 under through 6 yesterday, and then he just struggled a little bit. But I'll say McIlroy again, but I could see Scheffler taking it. When will you feature in a video with Jack and Oscar? Whenever Jack and Oscar want me in a video, which is probably never. I transferred in Gross from a stack this week. Now I'm thinking I should have gone Ampadu instead because he basically guarantees an 8-pointer and give me 33. Nah, I prefer Gross. Gross can get DEFCON. He also could be on penalties and he has more attacking threat. So I think Gross is nice. I would have gone Gross. Best leads mid with stack out. Well, yeah, speaking of, it would be Ampadu. It would be Ampadu, but I just don't love that, personally. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe I could be tempted by an Ampadu on the free hit. Little cheeky punt. Thanks, Raptor. What about transfers for this week on that strategy? Yeah, Jared Bowen. Or I like Everton and I like Arsenal. Arsenal, Everton, West Ham, Man United. You basically just want players that are good in 32 and 34. So just look at those 2 weeks. Love Ludwig, but he's too prone to a Sunday collapse. He is prone to a Sunday collapse and he's not started well. I mean, if it had started well, maybe, but the tail ends aren't going to be very good, basically. Hi, Ross. If free hit 33, when do you activate? So what I'm going to do is, because I'm definitely wildcarding in 33 or free hitting in 33, but I don't yet know which one, I'm going to make transfers tonight and Saturday and Sunday and Monday. And then, before the deadline, I will decide whether I'm activating the free hit or the wildcard. Because my free hit and wildcard teams wouldn't be that different. I'd still be getting players that are doubling. So to make sure that I don't get priced out of anything, I'm going to make moves early. And then I'm going to decide closer to the deadline whether it's a free hit or a wildcard. Why 32 and 34? The person asking the question was on free hit 33. So I said you just need players that are good in 32 and 34. Have we done the presser news? Pressers have been done. Yeah, I don't think there's anything particularly exciting from what I saw. Who to bench from Ekatike, O'Reilly, or Chow? I'd bench Ekatike. What's your chip strategy one more time, please? Sorry for the people that have been listening to this for over an hour. I am on free hit 33, wildcard 35. Free hit 33 and bench boost left when to play them. If you've got less than 7 doublers in 33, I'd free hit in 33, bench boost 35. If you've got more than 7 doublers already in your team, I would maybe be thinking about the bench boost in 33 and then free hit 34. What happens to team value once you hit the free hit chip? Your team value will, like, you basically, you still own the players that you originally owned, right? So if you're buying players that are going up in price, you don't actually own them. You're almost like loaning them into your team, aren't you, on a free hit? So your team will just go back to what it was before you activated the chip. But if the players that you owned went up in price that week, you'd still gain that value on them. Hope that makes sense. Basically, your existing team is going on in the background the whole time. You're just setting up a new team just for that week. It's like a facade, you know? I feel like I did a terrible job of explaining that, but oh well. Interested to know if Somerville starts. Do West Ham early leaks occur? Very unlikely that we'll know. I mean, you never know. Might as well just stick around. But what was the news on Somerville? He's still flagged in FPL, isn't he? But I don't know. It's a mirage. I think I meant a facade, not mirage. I mean, mirage works as well. Who's the best mid for 32-34? Cunha, I like. I like Dewsbury Hall. I like Declan Rice. Just rip the camera off the tripod and bring it to the kitchen. But I would then need to take all my equipment with the with the microphone and my laptop and lighting. You know? Sadly, it's not just a case of pop it over there. Who's your goalkeeper for 34? I don't have a goalkeeper for 34. That's the only negative. Like, if I show you here. This is my team in Game Week 34. This is obviously without the extra. I will have an extra transfer in 34 if I want to use it. So, like, it's looking very decent. Like, even if Ekatike's minutes are a doubt, I can just start Dango. I've got Dango and Munoz on the bench. So, the team looks good. I just don't have a goalkeeper. So, I think as of right now, the plan in Game Week 34 will just be to sell Verbruggen or Dubravka to any other goalkeeper. I've got 6.4 million in the bank as well. So, I think it will just be something like Verbruggen to Raya. So I think that'll be my team in Game Week 34. Which I think is honestly okay. I think it looks pretty decent. I mean, a free hit team's going to be slightly stronger overall. But I don't know that it will be that much stronger. Got a lot of home games in there. I've got a lot of decent assets. Obviously, Chelsea and Man City don't have games anyway, so I don't need to worry about João Pedro or Haaland or Palmer. I don't know realistically who I don't own here that I'd be desperate to own. Maybe Salah, maybe a Verts, Soboslai. Like, who am I missing here in 34, chat? Who's this team missing? Cunha, I suppose, but I've got Mbermo back against. Just, I don't think this is, missing too many people. Did you miss my super chat or did I miss it? Samara, I definitely read out your first one. Oh, you've done a second one, have you? Yeah, no, I haven't done it actually. Okay, I've got your team. What do you think of bench boost 32, free hit 33, wildcard 35, triple captain 36? Bench boost this week. So your bench would include... Wow. Yeah, do you know? So João Pedro would probably be the player you bench. Mukiele. Hill's not great, and Dubravka. I don't know. When you've got all 4 chips left, I prefer wildcard 33, free hit 34, bench boost 35, triple captain 36. I slightly prefer that, Samira. I think so. It's not bad bench boost. It's not. If Hill was better, then I would be much more tempted. It's just bench boosting a player that has Arsenal away, and you've got a goalkeeper in Dubravka who you're pretty sure will concede. Wilson or Ekatike? I would prefer Wilson this week just because his minutes are more secure. I'm looking at Garner over Ekatike. How set are you on that? I'm weighing up KDH versus Ekatike. KDH is even better than Garner as well. I would rather start Garner than Bruno Fernandes. No, I love James Garner. It's a fun differential. I am definitely not going to bench Garner for Ekatike. If I started Ekatike, it would probably be instead of Dango. Maybe Wilson. Probably Dango. Something like that. But I like the home fixture for Dango, as long as he starts. That's the main thing, I guess. Chow or Van Dijk? Van Dijk. Wilson to Gross. Yeah, I don't mind Wilson to Gross if you're not free hitting next week. If you're free hitting next week, it feels like a bit of a waste. Even though he has Burnley this week, of course. I have the wild card this week. Okay. Would I upgrade anywhere? No, that looks perfect, Dave. Yeah, not a single change required there. Hinshelwood, I suppose you could go for Gross for more security of minutes, but I like Hinshelwood. What makes you think Liverpool are getting a result against Fulham? What makes you think they're not? What makes you think they're not? I think they're playing at home. They're a better team. You know, I fancy them to get a result. I hope, trust me, as a Man United fan, I very much hope that Fulham get a result, but I would just about back Liverpool. Let me pin a message saying my chip strategy, because every other message is asking me about it, and I don't want to repeat it again because I feel bad for the people. My chip strategy is free hit 33, wildcard 35. I might change to wildcard 33, 3 hit 34 if a few big events happen this weekend, but it is very unlikely. There we go. My chip strategy is now pinned. Is Ekatike starting? It's the billion-dollar question, really, isn't it? Maybe not $1 billion. It's the £10 question. Warren Sean says, hi Ross, I have wildcard bench boost free hit. Team is... Okay, I've got your team. Would you wildcard on 32? No. I would wildcard... I would probably free hit 33, wildcard 35, bench boost 36. Would be. Oh, basically, I don't think you need a wildcard this week. You can decide. You might want to instead wildcard next week. But I think I would wildcard or free hit in 33 instead, is my inclination. What's the best game week for triple captain? As long as Arsenal haven't won the league by then, I think it's 36. Haaland is predicted to have Brentford at home, Crystal Palace at home in 36. So, yeah, as long as the league's not wrapped up, I would say that. It's probably your best chance. Samira says, thank you. I'm just worried on who I'll be stuck with after double game week 33. Will you have wildcard 33 drafts? Yes, 100% there'll be a wildcard 33 draft next week. If wildcard 33, there's no Arsenal players, I would have Arsenal players on a wildcard. Yeah, I would have Arsenal players on a wildcard for sure. I'd have at least Gabriel. Might even have Gabriel and Rice on the bench, something like that. I think you have to really wildcard with Arsenal players. At least one. Because from 35 onwards, I think you'd want 3. I've got all my chips starting to panic. You need to play the wild card this week or next week, I think, if you've got all your chips. And then you go from there. I can afford Palmer. Should I go for Gordon? I can't remember what your strategy is, but yeah, if you can afford Palmer and you're not free hitting next week, I'll just get Palmer. Why not Gyökeres as a replacement for Ekitike? I just don't know that he starts every game, Gyökeres, whereas BOWEN does. Best Bournemouth players? Tavernier, Hill, Senesi. Probably my top 3. Tavernier, Hill, Senesi are probably the only 3, to be honest. But you're not getting Bournemouth players this week. You'd only want them for next week, wouldn't you? Which teams are not playing in Gameweek 33? Every team plays in Gameweek 33. Every single team. There are no players blanking, no teams blanking in 33. Fulham were also better than us in the reverse fixture. Fair. Hopefully Fulham smash them 6-1. Van Dijk scores the goal. Wilson scores 6. Ekitike gets 0 mins. Gets a 1 minute, 1 point cameo. Do you prefer a 1 week punt on Thiago or BOWEN? I prefer Thiago this week, but I don't like 1 week punts. One week punts don't make sense anymore. I don't ever see the reason for a 1 week punt, really. Unless you've not got 11 players, then it makes sense. It's Seymour, not Samir. Oh, Seymour Abdul. I see. I obviously can't see where it splits. Seymour Abdul. Okay. And then it just cuts off after that. I can't see any. It just says ... I'm Syrian. I love your content. Okay. Apologies for that, Seymour. Or Samir? 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 Don't know. I probably butchered your name 100 times there. But thank you for the support regardless. Ankit Macan says, what's your chip strategy? I still don't know if people are joking when they ask me about chip strategies now. I have all my chips planning for free hit 33 and wildcard 35. Am I missing something? I have all chips. If you've got all your chips, the only thing you're missing then is you're going to have to bench boost and triple captain. Well, one of your bench boost or triple captains will be in a single week. But I am planning the same thing with free hit 33, wildcard 35. A conspiracy theory I subscribe to is that a player is more likely to score in a one-off fixture if it's against their former club. I don't know if that's a conspiracy theory. I think it's just something that's difficult to objectively quantify and measure. I feel lost here, Ross. I've used my wildcard and only 1 free transfer. Team's a mess. Big trouble. What should I target, do you reckon? Okay, so, Jack, I'm assuming you've got your free hit. The first thing that you need to do is work out if you're playing your free hit in 33 or 34. If you're playing your free hit in 33, you should be buying players like Cunha, BOWEN, players that have a good fixture this week and a good fixture in 34. If you're playing your free hit in 34, then you need to buy players that double next week. And I can't see your team, so I can't help you with that. And I don't even know if you've got your free hit. But then that will help. How long we got till the deadline? We've got just over 30 minutes till the deadline. Hrishi says, hello, Ross, my team. All chips available. Okay, all chips available. What is the best chip plan? Team looks good for this week. Don't think you want a wildcard this week. Okay, I would, with your team, wildcard 33, free hit 34, bench boost 35, triple captain 36, Frishy. That would be the way that I would go with your team. If you need me to say it again, just rewind, and I will say it again. You know. Fahad says, Ekatike to Bowen, Sanchez to Raya with 2 free transfers. Free hit 33, wildcard 35, bench boost 36. I will do Trav to Cunha in 34 to have 11, or Trav... Is that Tav? Is that Tavernier? To Cunha now with Raya and bench Ekatike. I like Ekatike to Bowen, Sanchez to Raya. Yeah. Could you not do Ekatike to Bowen and Tavernier to Cunha now? I would rather delay the Raya transfer, if anything. If it was me, I would buy Bowen and Cunha this week and do the Raya transfer in 34. If you're only going to do one of them, though, I think Ekatike to Bowen sounds nice. Wildcard 32, is it worth going Bowen than using my 1 free transfer on DCL? No, I would just have Calvert-Lewin on your wildcard, personally, myself. Everyone's wildcard team is the same. How can they gain ground? This is just a fallacy. It's the wrong way to think. Firstly, and I'm saying this is someone that's not wildcarding, of course, no more than 40% of the database, the player base, will wildcard. So immediately, it's not everyone wildcarding. It's less than half of the people will be wildcarding. Then within those wildcarding, there are still going to be some players where it's like Matoma or Gross, Hill or Senesi, Strauch or Biol, Calvert-Lewin or Welbeck. There's still going to be decisions to be made there. So even if literally everyone that wildcards, let's say 40% of the player base, all have the exact same team, all of those players are then still only 40% owned. So I think you can absolutely make up points having a similar wildcard to other people. What's Pickle planning on doing? Pickle's got a similar plan to me. Wildcard 35, free hit 33. Can I make up 100 points on my mini league at this stage? Probably not. I'll be truthful with you. I think 100 points is probably not possible unless you have an all-timer generational 7 game weeks and they stink up the gaff. If both of those things happen, it could. Would you be on the same strategy if you had bench boosted? I have bench boosted. Are you saying if I hadn't bench boosted? If I hadn't bench boosted, I'd be on the same strategy. I would just bench boost in 36 or 37. But I have bench boosted, right? So it doesn't apply. Start one of Senesi or Tavernier. I'd probably go Tav and just hope that he is on pens and he gets a pen. 73 points behind in my mini league. They only have bench boost. I have all of my chips. Now, in that case, 100% feasible. Because you'd imagine a free hit wildcard and triple cap should make you up about 75 points or so, I'd imagine. Strategy is wildcard 32, bench boost 33, free hit 34, triple captain 36. 100% Jude. Not only do I think it's possible, I think it probably would happen if as long as you don't get super unlucky. If you get super unlucky, then who knows, but... Do we have any leaks? Not that I've seen yet, and I doubt that we will for West Ham, in all fairness. Do you think Mbermo starts? I think so, yeah. I just think he could get an early sub again. Loads of people asking about Ekatike being on the bench. It's just me predicting that his minutes will be reduced this week, and I don't want to take a risk starting a player that I think could be benched. But butchered it about 32 times. It's Sammer, like hammer. Sammer. There you go, Sammer. Bang. Nailed it. Do you think a PhD is worth it, Ross? Not unless it massively furthers your future job prospects. If your future job prospects are furthered by it, then it's absolutely worth it. If you're just doing it for the bants, because you enjoy the subject, then no, I wouldn't bother. It's too much work. I'm on wildcard 33/35. I've sold DCL to Bowen. Yeah, that's fine. I think that works okay. 90-minute Wilson over 60 Ekatike, I reckon. I reckon it's more like 80 Wilson versus 30 Ekatike is my prediction. So yes, I think it's worth it. I think Gakpo and Isak both being on the bench and coming on with Ekatike starting does not bode well for Ekatike in the Premier League. Have you done a PhD? In which case, what did you do a PhD in? I'm submitting my PhD in the summer, and it's in sports psychology. I'm about 30... No, that's a lie. About 50,000 words into my PhD thesis, which is about halfway. I'm guessing roughly it'll be about 100,000 words, my PhD thesis. So we're about halfway there, which is nice. Almost. Not long now. You know? And will I be glad that it's finished? Yes, I will. Yes, I will. 40 says bench boost, free hit left. Okay. Got your team. Bench Sanchez, Senesi, Anderson, Krupi. 2 free transfers. What would you do? So you bench boost for free left. Okay, so let's count the doublers again. Dubravka. Sanchez, Senesi. 3. Krupi, 4. So you need to free hit in 33 and then bench boost in 35 or 37. Nice and simple, 40. Probably wouldn't make a transfer because you don't have a wild card left, so you need to be really selective. So don't make a transfer this week. Free hit next week in 33, and then bench boost in one of 35, 36, or 37, whatever week your bench ends up looking at its best out of those 3. But yeah, I would think you have to free hit basically next week. Oh my god, the DOMs. Oh my... pain. Oof, the bosoms. The bosoms have delayed onset muscle soreness. I'm 10,000 words into my master's thesis right now, thinking about doing a PhD after. PhD is just so different to master's. But yeah, I mean, if there's a topic that you really love, or like I say, it helps you to get a better job, then go for it. Is Brobby being slept on? Probably marginally being slept on, yeah. I would say so. Mr. Durglamax, good to see you, my friend. I hope you are well. How are you? I'm feeling pretty good, thank you. Thank you for asking. Should I sell a TK for Haaland? If you are not free hitting next week, then yes. If you're free hitting next week, I'd probably just go without Haaland. But yeah, if not, Ekatike to Haaland is a big upgrade for this week. I was tempted to make that move myself, actually. But I decided to do Krupi to BOWEN instead. Ayush says, Ekatike to Haaland, Palmer to Cunha gets me 11 for 34. Free hit 33. Wildcard 35. Triple captain 36. That sounds pretty perfect to me, Ayush. Yeah, do you know what? I really like that. I think that makes a lot of sense. Get Haaland, also get Cunha, gives you 11 for 34. I think that's a nice set of transfers. Are you the only FPL YouTuber who isn't wildcarding? I believe so, yeah. Well, at least in terms of the bigger YouTubes. Bigger YouTubers. Let's say like in terms of like 150,000 subscribers plus, I think I'm the only one, yeah. But like there are some really good managers, like Praz isn't wildcarding. FPL Pickle's not wildcarding. It's not just me, but in terms of the bigger guys, then yeah, they all seem to have decided to wildcard this week. But they all have their bench boost, so slightly different. Start Thiago or Ekatike? Thiago. I don't know about Timber. Not sure. Sorry. Wish I could give you a little bit more. Sorry if this was already answered. Would you wildcard 32 if you still had your bench boost? It would make me a lot more tempted, yes. I still probably wouldn't, but I would be a lot more tempted to do so. I feel like a single week bench boost set up right is better than 33. I thought that as well. My bench boost went terribly earlier this season. I thought my bench boost was perfectly set up and I got 11 points on it. So in a single week, there's a lot more scope for stuff to go wrong, is what I would say. VJ says, hello, Ross. Please rate this team. Pickford, Keane, Anderson, Gabriel, Cunha and Burmo, Bruno Cherki, Diego Gomez, Thiago, João Pedro. Is this a wildcard team? Probably not. Maybe it is. If it is, I don't love Keane Pickford. Unless you're not bench boosting in 33. I would need a lot more information, VJ. Is this a wildcard team? If so, what are the rest of your chips? When are you planning to play those chips? But like, yeah, Everton have Liverpool at home in 33. Cherki's a bit of a rotation risk. But then I like the Gomez pick. I like the Cunha pick. I'm a bit unsure what your strategy is right now, VJ. So it looks like a good team, but dependent upon when you're playing your chips, of course. How is it that we have 1,600 in the stream and only 400 likes? Most people don't like. I actually have a very high like rate for streams. Like, normally you're talking about 10 to 20% of people like a stream. People just don't feel like the need to bother, which is fair. Also, a lot of people watch on a TV and it's harder to like on a TV. You can like on your TV, by the way. If you're watching on your big telly, you just have to click on up and to the side, smash big thumb, boom. You know what to do. Bench one of Haaland, Wilson, or Dewsbury Hall. Wilson. I have all of my chips. Is wildcard a must this week? Not a must, but probably optimal. But I would say you could wildcard this week 33 or 35. No early team news, and no, I still have no idea if Timber and Ekatike start. They're the two that so many people are asking me about. I'm still unsure whether they start. What do we think of the Palmer pick, by the way? I just don't get it. He's the penalty taker for a team that have a double game week, and he's got a historically very high ceiling. Even this season, Palmer has shown, like... And I know people will say, but they were penalties, but he is a penalty taker, right? If we just click on Palmer, very low total points, but this, 2012. Not 2012 the year, but like in back-to-back weeks, look, he's got 4 XGI and a 20-pointer and a 12-pointer. There's not many players that can do that, and he can. And he's done it before, like multiple times. So I understand why you wouldn't get Palmer, because Palmer's not really shown too much of that this season, but you're buying him for his theoretically very high ceiling, which he does still have, I think. Why are people selling Ekatike? His minutes are just very unpredictable right now, especially with Alexander Isak back. Verbruggen or Mamardashvili? Verbruggen. Would you get Matoma? I quite like Matoma. He's in the wildcard draft that I showed earlier today on my channel, which was this one. I had Matoma in there. But I think Gross is definitely safer for minutes. Like I say, I've gone Matoma and Kadioglu here. But if you're going for pure, like, optimal, safe, good, I would go Gross and Van Hecker instead in those two positions. But that's roughly what my wildcard would look like if I was to play the chip, which I'm not. What is heavy on push day, Ross? I was doing, was heavy for me, but 32 kg dumbbells on an incline press, and a fair incline as well. We're not talking about pretty much flat. We're talking about a very solid 45-degree incline. I was doing 32 kg dumbbells, which is, for me, heavy. For some people, not heavy, but that's okay. We've all got different goals. I am doing a wild card, same draft as yours, no money for Bruno Fernandes or Gabriel. Who to pick instead? Just pick doublers. I would go for another Leeds defender. And probably... Who would I go for instead of Bruno? Maybe another Brighton midfielder if you've got that spot free. Or maybe Cucurella instead of Gabriel. And instead of Bruno... Or, change that. Keep Bruno and just do Gabriel down to a cheap defender like Biol or something like that. How come you're not using your wildcard when most are? 2 reasons. Firstly, what you've said in your message, because most people are, and my rank is not where I want it to be. So doing the same as everyone else isn't going to gain me as much as I need to gain. And secondly, I think my team looks good this week. There's no need for me to wildcard into a weaker team. Why 45-degree incline instead of a slight incline like 30? My upper chest is very weak as a body part for me when I look at myself side on. So I'm trying to really hit my upper chest. I agree 30-degree feels a lot nicer. And you still probably get a lot of the same sort of gain. But I do like a solid incline on my incline press at the moment. I'll mix it up, though. Sometimes I'll go a little bit flatter with the bench, for sure. But yeah. I'm trying to just really improve my upper peck. Just having a bit of fun with an alternative strategy, by the way, to go back to the question. I think it's fine. If you follow my channel for the last 4 or 5 years, how long have I been doing this now? 5 years, my 5th season. You'll know every year I've had a different chip strategy to most people. Every year I differentiate with chip strategy. And in all fairness, it's worked up until this point. Like my chip timing is usually relatively decent. And I think it's fine to try something a bit different, especially if you are chasing like I am. So, yeah. No wildcard this week. Thanks for giving me peace of mind, sir. You're welcome. It's fine to be a bit different. And if you are worried, just think Praz isn't wildcarding either. And Praz is the best manager of all time for me. Like, there are lots of good managers out there, but Praz for me is the most. Like, if someone said you can give your team to one person to manage for the year, I would give it to Praz. Because I like the way he uses his brain. So, yeah. Captain Mbermo. Don't know about that one. I'd be a bit unsure on that. Just because he hasn't played particularly well recently. Hopefully that changes. I'd love it. Because so many people will wildcard off of Mbermo, so I'd give it to you. I wouldn't give your team to me, but thank you. I appreciate that. I feel like if someone else gave me their team, I would play a lot better because I'd play like optimally. Like, whereas with my team, I have some fun. Which probably isn't the way to play FPL, but I enjoy it, you know? You've got just over 10 minutes until the deadline. Just over 10 minutes. Gross, Matoma, or Hinshelwood, considering it's his birthday tomorrow. Is it? I didn't see that. I wouldn't take that into your decision-making. I think Gross is the safest. Matoma and Hinshelwood both have probably higher upside, but also lower downside. Why is everyone wildcarding? Mostly to set up for a bench boost in the double game week next week. That's the main reason. I don't have the bench boost left. What should I change on game week 32 wildcard team from your latest video? If you don't have the wildcard, sorry, the bench boost, I would just have 1 or 2 more Arsenal. I would go, yeah. I'd maybe have Raya in there. I'd maybe have a Crystal Palace. So maybe like 1 Crystal Palace, 1 Arsenal I would add. Because you're basically thinking for the remainder of the season, right? You don't have to worry specifically about 33. People laughed at you when you played different and went early on Cunha last year. Garner's done all right for you too this season. I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like I could list 30 times when trying to be different, it hasn't worked. But I don't know. Like, maybe my overall views would be better. Maybe I'd have more subscribers if I played a bit safer. I don't know. Maybe they'd be lower. Maybe people like that about the channel. I don't know. I enjoy myself, though, and that's the main thing, isn't it? Are we still doing GeoGuessr? Probably for a little bit. We'll wait for the lineups at least. Give me the best chip strategy with all of my chips. Wildcard 32, bench boost 33, free hit 34, triple captain 36 is objectively, if you plug your team into an algorithm, it'll probably tell you to do that. Hi Ross, no wildcard triple captain. Can you suggest transfers? Want to make high risk, high reward options. You've got 3 free transfers. You've got no wildcard and triple captain. So how many doubles do you have? You've got Dubravka doubles in 33. Semenyo, Haaland. So you're probably going to free hit in 33. I would go. I think Krupi to Bowen, but you're not going to be able to afford that, are you? To fund that, I would do. It's going to be difficult to fund. I think Krupi to Bowen's really nice, but you need to try and fund that somehow. And I'm struggling with your team. Because I like keeping Gordon. You could sell Semenyo, but then you're going to want to buy Semenyo back in 35 because you don't have a wild card. I don't know. That's a very tough one. I honestly don't think you need a transfer this week. I know that's boring and that's not what you want to hear, Shaunak. But your team's looking very good. I don't know. I would say it probably is Krupi to Bowen and funding that by like downgrading Semenyo. to a Matoma or something like that. But you are then going to want to reverse that transfer and buy Semenyo in a few weeks. So, yeah. Ross, should I activate free hit 33 straight off the deadline? Can I save team value? I don't imagine you'll need to use it all. Like, I've built a few free hit drafts and they've got loads of money in the bank, so I don't think you need to rush to activate the free hit tonight personally. Bolivian Navy says, wildcard already played. Okay. Ekatike to Welbeck, or wait and do Semenyo and Tavernier in for Rice and Dango. I would kind of say all of the above. If you're really chasing, I would do all of them. Like, not this week. Ekatike to Welbeck this week, and then if you have to take a hit next week, take a hit. I like Ekatike to Welbeck, though. If you're chasing, I would probably make that move. And then see, like next week, it might be that one of those players gets injured, and then you don't want to make the move. So I would chase what you've got in front of you, basically. P28J says, wildcard 32, bench boost 33, free at 34, 4 free transfers. Do I keep Gordon, Cunha, Thiago for 32 and move to Palmer, Ampadu, JP in 33, or make 1 to 3 moves now, open to other options too? Thanks. I would do, you could do like a bit of both, like maybe you keep Cunha. Like, I don't mind booking in 1 or 2 transfers, but booking in 3 transfers feels a bit unnecessary. So pick out of Cunha and Thiago. I think Gordon's that important, but pick out of Cunha and Thiago who you want the most for 32. Have them, and the rest I would just have what team you want for 33. Yeah, I don't think because you're wildcarding this week, P2AJ. I think you're going to want to have free transfers in 35 to make sure you don't fall too far behind. Agniba says, evening Ross, back again. No worries at all. Okay, I've got your wildcard team. Is Matoma over Gross a risk worth it? I mean, on paper, yes, it's worth the upside chasing, but only if you are willing to risk the downside of Matoma getting benched at some point. Other than that, it's a really nice team, and I can't criticize any of that. It's basically what I would go with, your team. I would go Matoma over Gross. I would chase the fun. But I think Gross is objectively a slightly better option because he might be on penalties and his minutes are safer. But I really like Matoma. Thomas says, hello, Ross. Wildcard 32, bench boost 33. Rice, Tavernier in 33, Ampadu, Welbeck, or Gross, Tavernier, DCL. That's actually a close-ish one. I probably prefer Gross, Tavernier, and Calvert-Lewin, I would say. Yeah, Gross, Tavernier, and Calvert-Lewin is just about ahead for me, Thomas. But that is pretty close. That is pretty close. Martin says, no wildcard. DCL to Haaland. Sell who from Van Dijk, Igor, Mbermo, Gabriel. Needs 0.9. Or Thiago to Haaland for 1 move. Also, sell Sanchez or Petrovic for who? I don't know your chip strategy, Martin, so I can't really answer these questions particularly accurately. Yeah, I mean, reply to your super chat with your chip strategy, and I can try to help a bit more. But without that, it's difficult. Will, I love you, but I've answered that question like 5 times. It's still the same answer. Right, Will, lock in. Listen, if you've already got a Bournemouth or Leeds defender, don't double up. Just pick the other one. If you don't, just one versus the other. I prefer Hill to Strauch. There you go. I'm not answering that one again. Ross, any leaks on the West Ham lineup? No, nothing that I've seen. Let me double check, but I've not seen anything, no. No. I mean, there aren't many West Ham accounts, in all fairness. Yeah. No, there's not a massive amount going on by the looks of it. If anyone sees anything, then feel free to let me know the account that's posted. Thanks, Ross. Had to keep kind of way to help my baby. You're more than welcome, Will. It's absolutely fine. You are a massive legend of the channel, so I do have a lot more patience for you than most people. But yeah, I hope you and the baby are all well. Thanks for checking, Ross. I need Somerville to start. Yeah, I know. I mean, if I do see anything in the next 5 minutes, I'll let you know. By the way, we now have 5 minutes until the deadline, so make sure you're getting your teams locked in. Make sure you got your bench order sorted. Again, please, for the love of God, if you've wildcarded this week, make sure it says wildcard active. Do not make the mistake of taking like a -40 hit. Nobody wants that. Palmer and Krupi out, Bowen in, then who between Rice, Eze, and Mbermo to bring in for the second transfer? Cunha would be my favourite option. Rice or Cunha? I'd probably go Cunha. And then I like that a lot, Speaks. Reply to my super chat. I can't see a reply, Martin. It doesn't say you've replied. Just send the message in the chat, the one that you just sent, and I'll try and find it. Thank you. So maybe Raya for Verbruggen, and not sure which Crystal Palace player to get. Maybe Mateta or Sarr. Probably Sarr, I would say. And then probably Sarr instead of a Bournemouth midfielder. Something like that. Which two would you start between Chow, Dewsbury Hall, and Dango? Dewsbury Hall and Dango, probably. Bench boost 33, free hit 34. Okay, Martin, let's lock in. Bench boost 33. Calvert-Lewin to Haaland. Well, I don't like selling Calvert-Lewin particularly, but you're going to need Haaland. Okay. Sell who between Van Dijk, Thiago, Mbermo, Gabriel? I think Van Dijk is the best player to sell there. Yeah, I would go Van Dijk down to Van Hecker or something like that. Van Dijk to Van Hecker looks good to me. Why have you benched Ekatike? Is Ekatike not playing? What's with Ekatike? To answer all of the Ekatike related questions, I just don't think he's going to start. I have absolutely no news. I've been saying all week that I'm worried. I just think he's played a lot of games recently and they've got Gakpo who can play instead. And Arne Slot loves Cody Gakpo. Ekatike to Haaland is a pretty nice move if you've sold Haaland and want him back. I also like Bowen if you're free hit 33. And if you're free hit 34, I like Welbeck and Calvert-Lewin. I think the six forwards, Haaland, João Pedro, Welbeck, Calvert-Lewin if you need a player that doubles in 33. If you don't, it's probably Bowen or Thiago. Those are the six you should be choosing around. I also do think Brobby's not a bad cheap option. Ross, email Jack and Oscar to let them have you on their channel. You should email Jack. Say there's this great YouTuber called GeoRaptor. You should get him involved. Just want to say good luck with this game week to you and everyone else here. Thank you, Ashley. You too. Good luck, Ross and everyone. Hopefully a green arrow coming your way. You too, Cosmic. You too as well. By the way, I will be streaming after the deadline for a little bit, so make sure to stick around. It's my favourite part of the stream. If you are new here, make sure to subscribe as well. I really appreciate it. Just as a little thank you. It doesn't require much from you, but I really do appreciate the subscriptions. I think Tarkovsky outscores Van Dijk, Ross. I would back that, yeah. I would back that. You've got just over a minute till the deadline. Just over a minute. Is Justin from Leeds fine for wildcard 32? For now, yeah. I just don't know about long term if he starts every game, but he's been good when he's played, so... Captain Bruno or Bowen? Bruno for me. Bruno for me. Would you bench Cunha for Diarra? What? No, start Cunha. Start Anderson or Alderete? Probably Alderete, to be honest. Ekatike or Soboslai? Soboslai for me. Just due to safety of minutes is the main reason. Under a minute until the deadline. In fact, about 30 seconds till the deadline when you hear my voice. Get your teams locked in. Start Gordon or Wilson. I would probably lean Anthony Gordon myself. Ekatike or Anderson? If that's Elliot Anderson, I would honestly go Elliot Anderson. If it's Yorkin, probably just Ekatike. Start Alderete or Munoz. Probably Munoz. Stop asking questions. Get your teams locked in. I will do a cheeky little refresh on my team as I always do, just to make sure it all looks good, which I think it does. And we are good. Good to go. Right. That is it. That's the deadline. Locked in. I'm just going to tweet my team as I always do. Right. Tweeted. Put on Blue Sky as well for those that still aren't on the X. What a gross deadline that was. Hey, dad jokes. Pascal Gross. Good to see old Pascal back in the Prem. Cheeky game of GeoGuess. We could do a cheeky game of GeoGuess here. We also need to do club as well, because a lot has happened. What a BOWEN deadline that was. That shouldn't have made me laugh as much as it did, but it did. Oh, why is my Bluetooth off? Turn my Bluetooth on. Is that going to work? Boom. There's a lot going on in club at the moment. The main thing being that we now have live events in Onatar. So each week there's going to be something slightly different. This week it's called Park the Bus. And it's all about defenders. So like you gain... I don't know what we're going to call that. Is it just XP? But you gain if your defenders do anything. And you can get rewards as a result of that, which I think is pretty cool. So as a result, I've gone big at the back. I'm playing 5 defenders. I'm absolutely going for it with the defenders this week. Are there any good defenders here? Nico Riley. Maybe. But if you want to get involved in club, I highly recommend it. There is a link down below. It's completely free to play. It's not too late, by the way. I can't say too much, but there is some very exciting features coming soon. And we're going to meet with Manny. As always, predict who you think, like someone's already guessed, Ryan Cherky. Predict which Premier League player you think my agent will get me. This can be any player in the Premier League. Good, bad, ugly. Not saying that any players are ugly in particular, but you know what I mean. Guess a player from the Premier League. I'll give you 30 seconds to make your guesses. Can be any player in the Prem. I'm going to guess. I'm going to go Tanaka. Is Tanaka even still at Leeds? I'm going to go Ampadu. No, I'm not. I'm going to go Justin. Right, let's go for it. Get your guesses in. No, the click didn't work. Let me try the click again. There we go. Base. Core. Rare. Elite. I've already got him, whoever it is. It's Anthony Gordon. I already have Anthony Gordon, so it's just a contract extension, which is a shame. But I'll extend his contract for the rest of the season. He's on my bench at the moment, actually. But this is the way the team's set up. I ideally wouldn't start all of these players, but, you know, it's okay. I want to really go all in on the new Park the Bus, and I want to try and get... Can I, like, scroll across? I can't on my computer, but you get the picture. There's a link down below if you want to download Club. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend... Excuse me. Get off my screen. What have I done here? Oh, I did that, didn't I? That's back. You would think I know what I'm doing at this stage, but I don't. Oh, there we are. Goodness me. All over the place. We'll go no move. We'll go 30 seconds. We'll go 10 rounds. We'll go... Just go Community World. There you go. There is a GeoGuessr party. Just whilst we wait for the lineups. We'll probably only do one because I haven't had any dinner and I'm a very hungry boy. I'm a growing lad. That's what I am. In my 20s, spending Friday evening watching FPL wouldn't have it any other way. That's what I like to hear. Had something urgent come up. Missed the wildcard as I came back 2 minutes before deadline. Just did TK to BOWEN and captained him. Fingers crossed. Good luck to you. Hopefully BOWEN goes massive tonight. It's nice having a player on a Friday night, to be fair, as long as they don't blank. If you are new to the channel, this is GeoGuessr. Basically, the idea of the game in GeoGuessr is you are dropped into a random location in the world and you have to predict or guess where you are. We are playing a mode called No Moving, which allows you to turn around, but doesn't allow you to move up and down the road. Join a GeoGuessr club. Come to ours. You're welcome. I should at some point, shouldn't I? Yeah. Maybe I'll make my own. I'll give you another 30 seconds to join in case you need to kick up a laptop or something. Sorry for swallowing down the mic. Sorry for swallowing down the mic again. Right, 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dunzo. Oh, I've set to 40 seconds. I don't know why I did 40 seconds, but that's okay. Yeah, everyone's waving. Hello. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. This is not a good start. I don't know what continent we're in. It's not a good start, is it? It could conceivably be the US, but I'm going to hope it's not. It's got like Netherlands or something. Could be Belgium. Go Belgium, It was the Netherlands, cool. Yeah, no one got too close. I'm quite happy with that start. Getting the Netherlands. It was very flat. Vegetation all checks out, you know? We go again. Boston Pizza? Where on earth is this? 31 Beach Drive. Wait, where are we? I don't know where we are. Where? Oh. What? Wasaga Beach. Sure. Okay. Never seen. What a terrible looking area that was. No offense to anyone that lives there, but that looked pretty hideous to me. Ross, we invite you to our club. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That looked pretty hideous, didn't it, Claudette? Where are we? Are we in Iceland? I'm a bit all over the place. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've sort of lost the plot. Okay, that was fine. That was a good guess. We're first. I guess the wrong continent on one of these rounds. That was a very weird Iceland, though, wasn't it? I don't blame people that missed Iceland. Are we the closest? Apparently. Your live has some serious lag. It's about 10 seconds, which is good, to be fair. I don't want to give people too many clues. Is this the US? I don't have a clue what I am doing anymore. That looks like Germany, like German. What's the copyright? 2019 can't be Germany then. Does that not look a little bit like a US plate? What's the car? Oh, maybe it's just Swiss. Could just be Switzerland. Probably is. The more I think about it, the more I think. Let's just go like there. Great success. Switzerland. I just got the wrong side. This is not FPL. It's not, to be fair. You are actually factually correct on that one. This is not the F of the PLs. Oh no. Code red. Code red. I don't know what continent this is. It's just the US. God, what are these random North Americas? That looks a bit like a New Zealand. It could be Australia, New Zealand, or the US. I don't know. I think this is actually Australia. No, it's the US. Okay, that was a very Arizona. I didn't know where to guess, to be fair. Torp has overtaken me. That was a good guess from Torp. Fair play. Yeah, we were in the wrong area, but what team do you support? Manchester United. Manchester. La la la. Yeah, to be fair, I've not learned any of the license plates in the US. It would be very valuable if I could learn them, but Ross, don't say what that bollard is. Well, that one, I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. It'll be somewhere out here, maybe. It could be the other side of Czechia, over here. But we'll see. Oh, Slovakia. Okay. It's very flat for Slovakian standards. I think the standard guess there is Czechia. Basically, that's the Czechia-Slovakia bollard. Slovakia is a very mountainous country. Czechia's got a lot more flatness to it. So fair play to those that guessed in Slovakia. I think Czechia was the higher probability bet. Yeah, I was feeling pretty confident, you know, in oh god. I actually don't know what country this is. I do know what country this is. All the DOMs. I'm a very hungry boy. Need to feed the hunger. Okay. I don't actually know where we are particularly, but I mean, it will be somewhere up here, you'd imagine. I'm going to go fairly close to Muscat, but it's not going to be in Muscat, is it? Okay, it was a little bit further up there. Fine. It was Oman. There was a little bit of Arabic that I saw, which is good. I thought at first it was going to be like the Americas, but then I saw Arabic. If anyone gets really close on this, we call... Yeah, we call cheats. Menabung. Can try and find it. Bajawa. Bajawa. They're real tiles. I reckon it's going to be Bajawa. I don't know. It's going to be on Java, I would imagine. It could be up in Sumatra. It could be Lampung. Okay, it was the Nooses. Bad guess by me. There it is, Bajava. Someone got very close. Good guess there. Do you play much chess, Ross? Not really, no. Claudette, this is your neck of the woods. Claudette, help. This is your neck of the woods, Claudette. Could be Ontario. Could see, maybe. I'm really bad at region guessing. Go Sudbury. Yeah, I don't really know how to region guess. Ah, it was over in New Brunswick. Pain. Okay. Fine. To be fair, I am within 100 of Torp. Claudette didn't help in time. That's okay. Next time, Claudette. God damn. Okay, this is going to be a tough one. Fold in laundry. No worries, Claudette. I'll let you off them. I think probably in France. I think that's a French pole top. No. Wow, okay. I was so off on that. I still finished second. Albania. That looked like a French pole top to me. Wolves just put out the stinkiest lineup. Oh, yeah, the teams will be out, won't they? We finished second. I'll take that. Right. Let me quickly check the Wolves team and then we'll finish there. Wolves. I think that's just their team, to be honest. I don't think that's the stinkiest lineup. Yeah. Somerville does start. Okay. Right. Love you all very much. Have a fantastic weekend ahead. I will catch you probably on Monday for the next video. And yeah, it should be a good week ahead with Free Hit Active. So until then, thank you very much. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye, guys.